Hi there, I'm Ron Collins, and I am a writer of mostly science fiction and fantasy and a little bit of other stuff here and there, a little romance and historical and contemporary stories here and there. But I probably primarily write science fiction and fantasy. And this Kickstarter, I am releasing this video as a stretch goal element of a Kickstarter that I am doing on being and becoming again a writer. One of the stretch goals is a copy of a story that appeared in this anthology, Fiction River Broken Dreams. Story is Day of the Party. And to give you a little bit of a sense, in the introduction, the editor, Chris Rush, who selected the story, writes that Ron Collins says that Day of the Party was his mother's favorite story of his, which it was. She cried the first time she read it, he writes, so I'll never be able to think of it without seeing her. And that is completely true. So Chris Rush knows that this story was my mom. It was mom certified. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. What she does not know, what Chris Rush does not know, or may not know, I don't remember, is that this story is actually the very, very, very first piece of fiction I ever wrote once I decided back many years ago to attempt to become a writer. Hence, it kind of fits in the whole category of becoming again a writer, because when I wrote this, I was actually stationed, I was working for the federal government, civil service, military, Navy, and I was stationed in Washington, D.C. for 6 weeks. And after doing the first weekend of all the touristy things, I thought, well, what am I going to do with myself? And I'd always wanted to be a writer. I'd always dreamed and thought about being a writer. So I thought, well, I got 5 weeks. I'm here by myself. Nobody has to see me. And so I went about beginning to write fiction. And I went to a particular place that I will not mention in this video because it would be a spoiler for the story. But it affected me in certain ways, and the story that I sat down to write came out. Now, that having been said, I will fully admit that the story that appears in this Fiction River Broken Dreams anthology is a stronger version of that story, because I did not really know exactly how to write a story, but the bones are all there, the structure is all there, the thought is all there, and I think one of the main messages to people who are trying to remember what it means to be a writer, why they became a writer, is completely enmeshed inside that story, right? Because it was something that was really dear to my heart, and written at a time where I didn't think that I could be a writer, but I had the dreams. And it sat on my hard drive for a long time until this Broken Dreams concept came out as an anthology, and I went, wow, I think this one really fits. And when I went back and looked at it, yeah, I did need to fix it up a little bit, but I didn't have to fix it up a whole lot. It's only a 2,500 word story, something like that. I'm making that up on my, it's short, it's a short story. So I think the main message here in the context of on being and becoming again a writer is at some point you just jump off the cliff and you do the thing. And the thing is going to be good if it comes from inside of you, even if mechanically there's some things that need to be mixed up. The main thing is it came from inside of me. It came from my effect, the effect that I had from dealing with and seeing various things. So anyway, that is the little background story on Day of the Party. I hope you enjoy that story, and you know, in my best world, my mother is my best reader and favorite reader, and so if it affects you the same way it affected her, then it did its job. Thank you so much for backing this Kickstarter. I really deeply appreciate it. I appreciate your support. It means a whole lot to me. So again, thank you.